Good evening, this is TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Families who have lost a breadwinner are urged to immediately update their records to ensure they don't lose vital aid under the Sarawak Basic Needs Contribution or SKAS. Sarawak's Minister for Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing, Dato Sri Fatima Abdullah, says any status changes must be reported to the district-level committees to prevent delays. She also calls on local officials to be proactive in identifying these anomaly cases to guarantee transparent and total social aid distribution across the state.
Dulu yang menjadi ketua isi rumah ialah suaminya atas nama suami. So bila suami meninggal, dia meninggal. So yang isteri ini kan kata dulu terima kan, tapi sekarang tak terima because the husband passed away, right? So the anomalies like that can be explained. Nah, kalau meninggal, that means nama tak ada lagi lah, meninggal. So then the next one will be siapa ketua isi rumahnya? Which one among dalam ahli keluarga itu? That one has to be informed kepada jawatankuasa SKAS di peringkat daerah.
In other developments, Fatima says that the Community Social Support Centre CSSC in Cebu is set to begin operations this April. Fatima further reveals that the Bintulu CSSC and the Homeless Transit Centre are on track to open their doors by May.
Tensions across the Middle East are rapidly intensifying, with new military, economic and geopolitical developments unfolding by the hour. From threats to global oil supply routes to fresh strikes across the region, the conflict is sending shockwaves worldwide. Here are the latest developments as the situation continues to escalate.
U.S. President Donald Trump is demanding that allies help secure the Strait of Hormuz as European powers push back on a possible mission to reopen the vital waterway shut by Iran in response to U.S.-Israeli attacks. He is criticizing what he calls a lukewarm response to his call for nations to send warships to escort tankers through the strait, which normally carries a fifth of global crude oil, urging countries to get involved quickly and with great enthusiasm. In his appeal over the weekend, Trump identified China, France, Japan, South Korea, and the UK as countries that should join the coalition. He later on called on all the countries of the world that receive oil through the Hormuz Strait, specifically saying the members of the NATO alliance should join. To date, no country has confirmed its involvement. As pressure mounts over the Strait of Hormuz, oil markets are reacting sharply. Prices are rising more than 5% on Tuesday as countries resist Washington's demands while Iran targets crude-producing neighbors. At around 6:15 GMT, U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate is up 5.16% at $98.32 a barrel, while Brent crude also climbs above 5% before easing slightly. As the conflict spills into sensitive areas, concerns are growing in Jerusalem. Israeli police say missile and interceptor fragments are found at holy sites in the Old City, including areas near the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Police say several interceptions take place over the city during a recent missile salvo fired from Iran. Meanwhile, Iran is tightening internal security as the war continues. The Revolutionary Guards say they arrest 10 foreign spies in the northeastern Razavi Khorasan province. According to ISNA news agency, authorities say 4 of them are gathering information on sensitive sites and economic infrastructure, while others are linked to what they describe as a monarchist terrorist group. The conflict is also impacting key Gulf energy infrastructure. A drone strike hits the Fujairah oil complex on the UAE's east coast, causing a fire but no reported injuries. Authorities say civil defense teams respond immediately as the facility, already hit a day earlier, remains critical for bypassing the Strait of Hormuz for some exports. Further inland, another strike highlights the widening scope of attacks. A drone strike causes a fire at the Shah oil field, about 230 kilometers south of Abu Dhabi. The site, with a production capacity of around 70,000 barrels per day, is part of the UAE's key energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, the wave of attacks is also reaching Iraq. 2 drones target the Majnoon oil field in the south, marking the second such incident in 4 days. Officials say 1 drone hits a telecommunications tower, while another targets offices of an American firm, though no major damage is reported. With supply concerns mounting, global energy authorities are stepping in. The International Energy Agency, IEA, says more strategic oil stocks could be released to limit the fallout from disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. The agency notes that over 1.4 billion barrels remain available, leaving room for further action if needed. And other countries are already beginning to act on those plans. Japan says it is starting to release its strategic oil reserves following the IEA's coordinated response to stabilize markets. The move is part of what the agency describes as the largest stock release effort of its kind, with Europe and North America expected to follow. Amid the disruption, Iraq is looking for alternative export routes. Officials say the country aims to revive a long-idle pipeline to Turkey, targeting shipments of up to 250,000 barrels per day. While that is only a fraction of pre-war exports, it could help offset losses caused by reduced access through the Strait of Hormuz.
Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu has uploaded yet another video on his official X account to prove that he is alive, similar to the previous ones posted, but this time it's backfiring spectacularly online. Netanyahu in the video was seen striking conversations with several people who are casually going about their day, having coffee, taking photos, shaking hands, and even getting to know their names. Nothing seems to be amiss until one moment in the video, where the ring on his left hand disappears suddenly and reappears again, further fueling speculation that the videos are AI generated. Ryan Mehta explains in detail.
Yet again today, for the 3rd day in a row, they're putting out AI videos. Now, the video you're watching here is of Netanyahu outside. I don't know if this is outside the coffee shop he was at yesterday or where they're claiming this is actually located at. But allegedly, he's going around, he's introducing himself to people, he's talking. And you see when he goes to shake the hand right here, and you see the ring on his finger. And then now here you see no ring on his finger. The levels and the psyop that they're going to have to try to attempt to get away with. And I don't know if they're just trying to buy time so they can figure out how to get a body double and get this person trained and replace Netanyahu.
Another posting made today by the Israeli Prime Minister's office official X account showed a picture of Netanyahu answering a phone call at an army base. Yet on the right side of the photo, you can see the distortion of a personal computer and what seems to be a tablet placed on a table, the hallmark artifacting of an AI-generated image. Now, it's also important to note that Netanyahu's son, Yair, who has been radio silent since his father was rumored to be killed by an Iranian strike on March 2nd, and his whereabouts are currently unknown. Yair is known for his heavy activity on X, criticizing various figures who have spoken against Israel, and was last spotted in the U.S. state of Miami, where he resides. Back home in Malaysia, the prospect for the polymer industry is not entirely shaken by the current geopolitical instability. Group CEO of Polymer Link Holdings Berhad, Ko Hong Seng, says the company continues to earn over 138 million ringgit for the financial year 2025, although slightly lower than the previous year by 5%.
He says the lower revenue was due to a one-off impact by the U.S. tariff for the first half of last year, which resulted to slower purchase of their higher margin products. Even so, the company managed to record a net profit of 8.5 million ringgit with a net profit margin of 6.2%. As the war escalates in West Asia, affecting the prices of fossil fuel, there is no doubt that it will pose great challenges to the business. However, Group Financial Controller Lau Jun Hong says they are geared up to face global uncertainties.
Because we have weathered those, we have weathered previous Middle East conflict, we have weathered all these global events before. So at the moment, we have already built a very healthy buffer stock, and also we have supply agreements with our suppliers that will continue to help us ensure that we will continuously supply our customers around the region.
These measures, he adds, are taken to support the company's growth in the international market.
Intel's advanced packaging complex and assembly manufacturing is expected to be operational later this year. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced this after receiving a briefing from Intel Corporation Chief Executive Officer Tan Lip Bu and his team on the latest developments regarding Intel's investment expansion in Malaysia.
The discussion focused on efforts to support the development of the advanced packaging complex, assembly and test manufacturing, key components of Intel's investment expansion in Malaysia. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, says Intel Foundry Executive Vice President and General Manager Naga Chandrasekharan outlined plans to begin the first phase of the complex with assembly and testing for advanced packaging. He adds that emphasis will also be placed on continuous training and upskilling of local talent across the value chain. According to him, the Madani government machinery will continue to be a partner and facilitator for investments that clearly provide long-term benefits as targeted in the plans that have been launched, including the National Semiconductor Strategy.
The Madani government has announced a 50% discount on toll charges in conjunction with Hari Raya Aidilfitri to ease the cost of travelling back to hometowns. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim says the decision was made at the cabinet meeting as part of the government's comprehensive move to help the people address the rising cost of living, particularly during festive seasons. In a statement today, he said the initiative involves a financial commitment totaling 21.03 million ringgit. The discount will take effect from 12:01 a.m. on March 18th until 11:59 p.m. on March 19th. It applies to Class 1 private vehicles on all highways except the Sultan Iskandar Building Toll Plaza and the Tanjung Kupang Toll Plaza on the Malaysia-Singapore Second Link. University of Malaysia Sarawak Unimas is set to admit its first batch of law students this September. Vice-Chancellor Professor Dr. Ahmad Hatta Rashid confirms the initial intake will consist of 30 students. And while applications are open to all, priority is given to Sarawakian candidates.
The curriculum is tailored to Sarawak's unique legal needs, focusing on state identity and economic development. It also explores new frontiers like carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCUS), an initiative fully backed by Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg during a courtesy call today.
Sokongan padu daripada yang berhormat Premier untuk penubuhan perkhidmatan tersebut dan dengan hasrat untuk membantu dalam pembinaan di undang-undang di Unimas dan beberapa perkara yang kita tekankan di sini berkenaan dengan customary law yang berkaitan dengan MA 63 dan juga customary law dan juga transdisiplin untuk meningkatkan law berkaitan dengan Sarawak Development Economy dan juga tim sempadan order gitulah di Sarawak dan international, insyaAllah.
Dr. Ahmad highlights the Premier's pledge to fully sponsor Sarawakian students, ensuring access to legal education.
Get all the updates you need all in one app. TVS Inspire brings you the live updates on events, news and programs. Available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire, world on your screen, anytime, anywhere. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. Thank you for watching and have a good night.